What's up, nerds? So as the title and the thumbnail of this video would suggest, another YouTuber has decided to copy one of my recent videos, word for word. That is not just some catchphrase that I'm using. Their video is 9 minutes long, and it's 9 minutes of copying one of my videos, word for word. This is far, far worse than the Artumbo and ZMM situation, at least as far as how plagiaristic that it is. So let's go ahead and take a look at this situation, because I'm calling this person out, because I don't think they deserve to be on this platform. So this is the slimy snake in the grass that copied my video. Their YouTube channel name is Sigmar. They have an @ and it is @Sigmar494. We could take a look at some of the suspicious numbers about their channel, but we'll do that later. Right now, let's just compare the title and the thumbnail of their video to mine, because we want to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? So the title of their video is Acheron Truly Free-to-Play Friendly? Let's take a look at my video, which is right here. Is Acheron free-to-play friendly? Starting to look a little bit sus. Let's take a look at the thumbnail. Only for whales? Well, let's take a look at my video. Whales only? Looking a little bit sus here. Now let's take a look at the actual content of the video itself. First, we'll be taking a look at a short segment of their video and then comparing it to a short section of my video. I want to be careful and not show too much of their video because I don't want to be a plagiaristic loser like they are.
It is time to talk about Acheron, because there is a lot of concern right now in the Honkai Star Rail community over whether Acheron is a free-to-play friendly character or not.
It's time to talk about Acheron because there's a lot of concern right now in the Honkai Star Rail community over whether Acheron is a free-to-play friendly character or not.
Many players, myself included, feel like she is going to be at the top of the pyramid in terms of the power level of this game. And free-to-play players want some of that sweet, hot action as well.
Because a lot of players, myself included, feel like she's going to be at the top of the pyramid in terms of the power level of this game, and free-to-play players want some of that sweet, hot action as well. Wow, this is embarrassing. Sigmar, dude, for over 9 minutes, you do this, copying everything from my video, word for word, even sweet, hot action as well. You could have tried just a little tiny bit and you might have gotten away with it, because I didn't even know this happened. Some commenter on the video itself, I have to thank them, whoever your name is, I hope I don't say this wrong, Xeniya Karpenko, is the one who pointed this out to me. They don't necessarily care that this happened, and if you could have put 2 seconds of effort into copying the video and made it transformative like everybody else does, you might have gotten away with this. But no, you couldn't be bothered.
I feel like it is a little bit of a more complicated question to answer. I do feel like there are a lot of existing tools accessible to literally every single player in the entire game that can totally make her function very well.
I feel like it's a little bit of a more complicated question to answer because I do feel like there are a lot of already existing tools that are accessible to literally every single player in the entire game that can totally make her function very, very well.
But it is a fair point to say that there are a lot of other tools that are not so easy to get that will make her even better.
But it's a fair point to say there are a lot of other tools that are not so easy to get that will make her even better. For 9 minutes straight, this guy does this. This guy is Cigar, or whatever his name is. The only difference is that in my video, I talked about why I was making the video, because it's associated with a previous video that I made, and a lot of the concerns in the video I had were from comments that people had made. I also made some jokes in the video and talked about my personal pull strategy for Acheron, and that's why their video is 9 minutes long and my video is 12 minutes long, because they just removed everything that was directly associated with me and my channel from the video so that it looked like it was their video and their concepts and ideas the entire time. But it's plagiarized. It's completely stolen. Every single minute of it is. Just in case this video does get any traction, which I do hope that it does, so that the Honkai Star Rail community as a whole can truly call this person Sigmar out, I will refrain from showing a lot of the examples where they are copying me word for word, just because I do dip into the gray area a little bit with the video, and I want content creators to feel comfortable reacting to the video in case they felt so inclined to do that. I also don't want to show literally every single example because that would take forever and make the video way too long.
While that is true, according to what we know so far, that is not really that big of a problem. Now, to be fair, these Nihility characters need to be able to reliably apply debuffs, which is what every single Nihility character does.
And while that is true according to what we know so far, that's not really that big of a problem. Now, to be fair, these Nihility characters don't just need to be Nihility characters, they need to be able to reliably apply debuffs. But that's literally what every single Nihility character does.
Even DOT characters apply DOTs, and they are considered debuffs. If you are playing the Penacony Patch 2.0 events, we are given a free 4-star selector, where 2 of the characters are Nihility characters that can consistently apply more than 1 debuff at a time to enemies.
Even DOT characters apply DOT, and DOTs are considered debuffs. And if you're playing the Penacony Patch 2.0 events, we are literally given a free 4-star selector. Genshin could never. And 2 of the characters on that 4-star selector are both Nihility characters that can consistently apply debuffs to enemies.
If you go to the in-game shop, Pella is currently available using your Undying Starlight. Pella is a debuffing character on the path of Nihility, and she is one of the best characters in the game. Her ultimate regenerates really quick and debuffs every enemy at once on the field.
If you go to the in-game shop, Pela is currently available using our Starlight. Yeah, she's a debuffing character on the path of Nihility, and she's literally one of the best characters in the entire game if you really know what you're doing. And her ult goes up really fast and debuffs literally every enemy at once on the field with that ult. The way that they made their video is by taking everything I said in my video word for word, the script that comes from the closed captioning provided by YouTube. They took that script and put it directly into an AI voiceover machine in order to make their video, then added subtitles, which just so happens to make it very easy to tell that they copied my video word for word, because we can just use the closed captioning on my video and compare it directly to their video. Man, talk about being a freaking idiot. This person, Sigmar or Cigar or Sandbar, whatever this dude's name is, even pulled an Artumbo. I made a very, very small mistake when talking about Dr. Ratio's kit, and wouldn't you know it, they said the exact same thing despite me making that small error. They couldn't even be bothered to correct the tiny error I made.
Remember Dr. Ratio? He wants 6 active debuffs out there at a time for his kit to properly work.
Remember Dr. Ratio. This tall glass of water wants 6 active debuffs out there at a time for his kit to properly work. A poor choice of words on my part. I was just generalizing. This wasn't supposed to be a how does Dr. Ratio work guide or anything like that. And I don't write scripts for 99.999% of my videos, so that's how I made that slight verbal mistake. And this person, Sigmar, Cigarillo, whatever his name is, couldn't be bothered to write out a better version of what I said, despite having saved so much time by copying every word that I said in the video.
Trust me when I say this. If you can build a Dr. Ratio team, you can build an Acheron team. I understand that Acheron is a little bit more complicated, but she is not much different than Dr. Ratio. We have seen stuff like this before.
Trust me when I say this, if you can build a Dr. Ratio team, you can build an Acheron team. And don't get it twisted, I understand that Acheron is a little bit more niche than normal, but she's not much more different than Dr. Ratio. We've seen stuff like this before. Earlier while making this video, I wanted to point out something very odd to you guys, something very strange about Sigmar's channel. And while making this video, something else very odd, very strange ended up occurring with their channel. And it can be found here in the channel details. If you take a look here, you might recognize I opened up this page earlier, and their sub count was at 3.62K subscribers, right? But earlier, they only had 53,000 views. They've gained over 10,000 views in the last few hours or so. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I get 10,000 views or more on my channel, I tend to gain some subscribers. Maybe not like a heckin' of a lot, but certainly more than 0. Because 3.62 is 3,620. Are you trying to tell me they've gained less than 10 subs in over 3 hours after having gained over 10,000 views? Oh, well, look, they uploaded a new video. Let's go ahead and see if that has something to do with it. Oh, their new video has been up for well over 2 hours, and they gained 8 views. I know that it's been well over 2 hours because I've been sitting here updating for like 20 or 30 minutes waiting to see if this number ever changed. And it doesn't. This 8 views, in my opinion, is representative of what their channel is worth. Just my opinion. But you might say, oh, well, they have, what is it? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They have 12 videos here that could be gaining them viewership. Well, I checked, and I looked at the viewership they've been gaining compared, like now, to earlier when we were looking at the same page. And the numbers don't add up at all. Something very strange is happening on their channel. This video, for example, gained 1 view. Some of these other videos may have gained, like it's hard to tell when it says like 2.4. They could have gained like 9 views here and I wouldn't even know. But collectively, let's just go ahead and give them the benefit of the doubt that on the actual videos themselves, they've gained like maybe 500 views. If you look at the shorts number has not changed either. I'm not sure if I showed you guys this earlier, but I looked at this and this has not changed whatsoever. So something very odd, something very suspicious is happening on their channel. Because if I compare this to myself, whenever I gain a bunch of views, I gain subscribers too. And the chunk of views they got seemingly out of thin air that just appeared out of nowhere didn't affect their sub count whatsoever. It's almost like they're botting. Now, I'm not going to accuse them of botting because I'm not sure how botting actually works, and maybe there's something weird going on with how this updates. But when you look at the sub count, when you look at the views, when you look at the views on the videos themselves and you compare them to over 3 hours ago when this all actually started, this doesn't add up. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But let's go ahead and give Sigmar the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe there's some weird issue with the updating of the views and the numbers on their channel that maybe we don't fully understand. We shouldn't necessarily give them the benefit of the doubt considering they're willing to plagiarize every single second of somebody else's video, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt anyway, considering we don't know for sure. However, if you're a content creator and you're watching this video up to this point, I recommend you go take a look at their channel to see if you notice anything oddly familiar. Because if they're willing to copy my video literally word for word the entire thing, they're probably willing to copy other people's content as well. And Sigmar, if you happen to see this video, you are a slimy snake in the grass, a greaseball. If you don't have 2 brain cells to rub together to make your own video idea, you probably shouldn't be on this platform. Or maybe move on to some other game, like Hello Kitty Island Adventure 3. Well, I think we've made our point here. I could show you guys the rest of the examples where Sigmar copied literally my entire video word for word, but I think we proved ourselves earlier, and we don't really need to beat a dead horse or bore any of you viewers who were kind enough to watch this video. So, I have to say thank you for your time, and if you could, push this video to literally anybody you could so that it does get some exposure, so that Sigmar gets properly called out, because my small channel might not be enough to properly call them out. I want other content creators to be aware that this problem exists with this person so that they can know to be aware of Sigmar's existence to hopefully prevent this from happening to anybody else ever again. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.